Here in Lanarkshire, the NHS is piloting the kind of care which could help ease pressure on the NHS. 70-year-old Elizabeth Haddow was ill before Christmas, but didn't go to hospital. Nurses, paramedics and doctors treated her in her own home.
They couldn't do enough for me. They really looked after me.
As we all know, pressure on the NHS is increasing. We're getting older. We're demanding the best drugs, the best treatments, and faster than ever. But this document, compiled by NHS chief executives and leaked to the BBC, suggests the NHS is facing serious budget problems over the next 2 years, a funding gap totalling £400 to £450 million. In the confidential document, NHS bosses say that the status quo is not an option. It warns that the Scottish Government has made policy commitments which are not fully funded, and it says the reconfiguration of services is necessary. In layman's terms, that means some units may have to close. Lanarkshire is a fairly small county, but it has 3 big hospitals, each with its own accident and emergency department. It's expensive and hard to staff. Health bosses wanted to close one of these units years ago, but that decision was overturned by the SNP with popular support. But is that kind of hard choice back on the table after the referendum? Campaigning in Airdrie today, the Health Minister Alex Neil said not, and that these were just routine efficiency savings.
I don't accept there's a £400 million gap. This is some initial thinking by chief executives looking at the efficiency savings required, and that's very different from a funding gap. The efficiency savings up until now have been 3% a year. Next year we might require 3.5%, but every penny saved in efficiency goes back into frontline services.
But Labour's Jackie Bailey said this shows cuts are on the way.
What I absolutely hate, and I think the people of Scotland will dislike too, is that on the one hand, they pretend to want to protect the NHS, whilst behind closed doors, in secret, they are planning swinging cuts to frontline services. It's that level of hypocrisy that I think the people of Scotland will reject.
Either way, the language of this document is stark. It comes from the top. And it's a clear warning that radical action will be necessary to balance the books, whatever happens on Thursday. Eleanor Bradford, reporting Scotland.